Welcome back. Just Math, y'all. We're going to do some two-step equations, examples of two-step equations. So here we go. All right, so we have 6 examples here on the screen. I recommend that you stop the video and copy these down and see if you can solve them. If you can, great. If not, please watch through and pay attention to what's going on. These are what we call two-step equations because we're going to have to do a 2 steps to get these variables isolated. Remember, we have to get the variable isolated. And so what we do is we look at what happened to the variable and then we reverse it. So if we look at the first one, the first variable was multiplied by 6 and then we added 9. So I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to subtract the 9 and then divide by the 6. So here we go. So I'm going to subtract the 9. Okay, and that's going to give me a 0. So then that leaves me with 6x. And then I want to divide by 6, and that leaves me with x. Okay, the variable is isolated. But remember, what I do to one side, I also have to do to the other side. So when I subtract 9 on both sides, there we go, and 15 minus 9 is 6. And then I'm going to divide by 6, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. And this is all equal. So my answer is x equal 1. Now, I don't always do the problem that way, but maybe you like it that way. Let's try a different one. Okay, I'm going to change the color. Here we go, number 2. All right, so for this number 2, we'll notice our variable again is x, and x is my variable, and it has been multiplied by 9, and then 4 was subtracted from it. Okay, so now to reverse that, I'm going to add 4 and then divide by 9. So I'm going to add 4. That's 0, so that's 9x. I'll go ahead and do it over here. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And now I have to divide by 9. So divide by 9 over here, that's 1. So that's 1x. Divide by 9 on the other side to maintain equality, and I get x equals 2. All right, so now this third one, I don't have room on my margins to write down what I'm going to do. I guess I could do up above it. Notice my variable was multiplied by 19 first, and then 10 was taken away, so I subtracted 10. So to reverse that in reverse order, I need to add 10 and then divide by 19. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 10. That's going to make 0, or some people cross it out. It goes away. And that leaves me with 19x. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So now I'm going to have 95. Maintain my equality. And then I'm going to divide by 19 on both sides. And that gives me the x. And 95 divided by 19, if I'm not mistaken, is 5. I need to pull my calculator out to check on that one, but I think it's 5. Okay? All right. So now these next 3 have a little something different to them. The first 3 were pretty much all the same, maybe a little different here and there. But now we're going to throw in some little differences. We still need to find our variable and still need to know what happened to it. It's just written a little differently. Okay? So the first one, c, is my variable, and c was multiplied by 6, and then 8 was subtracted. So to reverse that in reverse order, I need to add 8 and then divide by 6. So we'll add 8. What I do to one side, I also need to do to the other side because it is an equation. And so I get 6c on one side and 12 on the other. And then I'm going to divide by 6. Divide by 6 on one side, that's 1, so I have plain c. Divide by 6 on the other side, and I get 2. So my answer turns out to be 2. Okay, so be careful. You know, a lot of people really hate the fact in math that we don't go left to right all the time. And if that's you, I'm so sorry. Please try to remember that you don't have to do left to right all the time. Okay? And I'm not going to write left to right all the time. And so if you're, you really need to think about that. We're not doing left to right all the time. So here we go, number 5. All right, this one's a little different. My variable is x, and what happened to x was divide by 6. You're thinking, that's a fraction. Yes, fraction is divide. So the first thing that happened was divide by 6, and then 4 was taken away, or subtract 4. So to reverse that, in reverse order, I need to add 4 and then multiply by 6. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add 4 to this side, and that's 0, cancels out, and I'm left with x over 6. What I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Now I have to do negative 8 plus 4. Use your calculator if you have to. And now I'm going to multiply by 6. Now I'm going to multiply by 6. And that's 6 over 1. And that's going to give me 6 over 6, x, which is just x. And multiply by 6 on the other side. My computer's being strange. I get negative 24. So there's my answer there. Okay. All right. So now the next one, there's a 0 in the problem. That's okay. And I didn't give myself enough room, so let's try it. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. That's 0. So I have 8x equal 8. And then divide by 8. And I get x is equal to 1. Okay. All right, so now let's look at the rest of these. We've got more examples, 7 through 10. Go ahead, stop the video, see if you can figure these out. If not, that's fine. You can watch me go through them. I'm going to go through these very, very quickly. So I'm going to go through these very, very quickly. So pay attention. Here we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 4. I'm going to add 4 over here. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And so that's going to give me 28 on the right and 7 over 9x on the left. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. We did this in the last video. That gives me 63 over 63x, which is 1x. What I do to the right, I have to do to the left. Ooh, yuck. I might need my calculator. I might need some scratch paper. Let's see if I got any scratch paper over here. So 28 is 4 times 7 times 9 over 7. There we go. So my 7s are going to cancel, and I'm going to have 4 times 9. So it's going to be 36. Okay. So my answer is 36 for that one. Whew. Almost got me. Next one. Number 8. Ooh. This one is strange. This one is different. Okay. This variable has a negative on it. Let's put a 1 on there. Okay. And that 8 is actually a positive 8. This is 8 minus the 1n equal 15. That is a plus 8. 8 is not being taken away from my variable. That's the tricky thing. Okay. So what we're going to do on this one is we're going to subtract the 8. Subtract the 8 because that's a plus 8. All right, the negative goes with the variable. It doesn't go with the 8. I know, it's weird. That's 0. So I have a negative 1n is equal to 7. And then I'm going to divide by negative 1. And I get n is negative 7. And that's the correct answer. You might want to really practice that one. I'll go over that one again in class the other day. Number 29. All right, so where's my variable? There it is. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. That gives me a negative 6v and a 30. And then I'm going to, you said it, divide both sides by negative 6. And I get v is negative 5 again. Notice my variables on the right. That one makes this one a little different. Okay, each one of these are a little bit different. So please pay attention. Okay, last one. Here we go. We're going to subtract 6 on both sides. And then we're going to divide both sides by -8. And remember, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay, hopefully you got all those right and you remember how to do this. And if not, we can discuss it later. It's just math, y'all. You can do it.